Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and the sea was no more. And I saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, Behold, the dwelling place of God is with man. He will dwell with them, and they will be his people. And God himself will be with them as their God. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and death shall be no more. Neither shall there be mourning, nor crying, nor pain any more, for the former things have passed away. And he who was seated on the throne said, Behold, I am making all things new. Today is the second anniversary of Jim's passing into the heavenly realms. I have shed many tears for God to put in his bottle. But today I'm just kind of sitting here in front of his headstone and knowing that there's joy in the morning. Yesterday, I spent most of my day reliving the last day we were together, hour by hour. 12 o'clock, I was getting his medicine ready for my daughter-in-law to give him an infusion. I got all the tools out, I got the medicine out, cleaned it, and sat down on the recliner beside Jim. We were watching something on TV, I don't remember what it was. And he said, Honey, I'm coughing up blood again. And I didn't even look because we'd been through it so many times. I said, How much? And he said, A lot. So I got up and I went over and I looked in the wastebasket, and the whole bottom of it was full. So I called Rachel from upstairs. And of course she got Brent there right away, and they called 911. And I got to ride in a rescue squad for the first time on the interstate with the lights blaring and the siren going while my husband lay in the back. We got to the hospital. They got him in right away. They started working with him, and they did a CT scan and just everything, and the bleeding had stopped. So they started talking about what else they needed to do to run tests. But they said they wanted to transport him to St. Elizabeth Edgewood because they would be able to take care of him if something happened overnight. And also they had the lab to do the tests that they wanted to run. So it was about 7 o'clock. We stood there and let all the doctors and the nurses go through and do what they needed to do, getting him ready for the next day. And since I had ridden in the rescue squad, I realized that, for one thing, I didn't have any clothes there for the overnight, and I didn't have my car there. So Rachel and I were talking, and she said she would take me to the house. I could get some sleep and come back in the morning, because the doctors wouldn't be there until about 10. So about 8:30 or 9, I guess, I kissed Jim goodbye. And I told him, I said, I'll be back in the morning before the doctors get here. And he said, You're leaving? Which was a good question, because I had never left him before. He had been in the hospital many, many, many times, and I stayed right there with him. working right through it. Had my laptop computer there beside him when he had pneumonia and blood clots, and held my conferences right there. But this time, I just, for some reason, needed to go home. Brent was going to stay with him. And from what Brent told me later, they watched Bonanza all night. I went to the house and the kids went to bed. Rachel and I went to bed, and about 12:30 she came down to get me up. We've got to go to the hospital. I knew what had happened, but I wasn't about to face it. I had denied it all the way up through to this. Jim had told me over and over that he was dying, that he had to get things ready for me, that I would be taken care of. But I refused to believe it. And we got to the hospital, and my goodness, Nancy was there from Florida. Tammy was there. Rachel and the kids. Brent. And they wouldn't let me go back. They said they had to get him ready for me. And I didn't understand what was going on. And they told me that he had passed at 12:36. And all I could say was no. No, 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 no. No, he's not gone. They finally let me go back, and he was still warm, so I told him he was going to get up. But he wouldn't open his eyes. I could never see those blue eyes again. It's been a long 2 years. And this is what I was going through yesterday. But this morning I woke up and it was like, just like God said in His Word, tears may come for a night, but joy comes in the morning. I know that I am not alone. I never will be. I know that the memories that Jim and I have together, some of them I can't even share with people because they're just so us. The fishing trips, the vacations, playing in the water with the kids in Pigeon Forge. So many memories, so many pictures. This year's going to be a good year. I have my own home now. I have my cat. And I have a picture of Jim hanging on my living room where I can see it from all angles. And I have a memory wall in my bedroom. It has pictures of us on different anniversaries. I'm ready to get on with my life. It doesn't mean I'm leaving him, because I listen for memories when I need advice of what he had told me. Like unstopping a toilet or putting the pegs in the drywall so the screws will hold a picture or a plaque. "46 years of marriage was wonderful. He became part of me. And that part I still have a hard time with, especially the eating part. It's hard to cook for just one person. mostly because any recipe you use is going to cook too much. And I've found that if you get the meals at the store, they're always too much, and you pay too much for them to not use the whole thing. But I've also learned that there's a lot that I can do. Like going to the senior center in Walton. I love that. The Bible study that we have on Tuesdays. I've learned so much just from listening to the banter of the people who are there. Precious, precious people. And Wayne and Sharon leading it. They always seem to have exactly what we need each week. And the exercises. Lou with his cardio drumming. I enjoy that. I'm enjoying life. I'm looking for things to do that I want to do. I don't want to crochet anymore. I learned that. I've done 4 puzzles since I moved in. I think I'm done with that for a little while. But there's so many other things to do, especially with the sun coming out. I can get my bike out and ride. I can go to the state parks like I started to last year, and yeah, year 2 was pretty bad. I had no interest in doing anything. But most of all, I know that I'm getting on with my life and the ministry that God's called me to in teaching His women. I love getting into the Word, burying myself in it, and just soaking up every learning, every verse. Because it's alive. And it's new to me every time I read it. And that's what I want to bring to these women. And God has brought me several other widows that we can talk together and share our experiences and hold each other up when we need held up. God is using me. Sometimes I don't even know it when He's using me. But that's exactly what I want. I know that Jesus is my guide, my bridegroom, my discernment, my right from wrong, my wisdom. And I love being a woman of God, knowing that I have someone to turn to who's never going to be too busy. And I encourage all widowers to turn to God. We have no regrets. Our loved ones are gone. We have done all we could do for them. And yes, there are some words that I've said that I really wish I hadn't. But Jim knows. He knows the state of mind that we were both in right before the end. Me fighting it and denying it, and him trying to get me to give in and work with him. That was hard. But I got through it. With God's help, I got through it, and you will too. The pain will be there, probably forever, because you can't just cut a piece off and not have pain. But there's healing too. There's healing. And that's what you get when you open the Word of God and let Him show you what you need for the day. Get down on your knees and give it all over to Him. God, I can't do this on my own anymore. How many times did I say that? I just can't do it by myself. And I felt Him holding me and saying, you don't have to, because I'm never going to leave you. Grief is a hard thing. Whether you lose a husband, a wife, a child, a mother, a father, it's a loss. But the hole is never too big for God to fill it. His love will always surround us. His right from wrong will always help us, guide us, lead us into where He wants us to be. If you haven't found that yet, get down on your knees and pray. God, what gifts do I have? How can I serve you? How can I get involved with something that is going to feed me while at the same time honoring you? Get in with a good church group, a good ladies ministry, a good ladies group. Men, get in with a good widowers group. This is our life, and we need to live it to the fullest. May God bless you.